Okay, Billy, I see you. Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 27th episode of the show, Power Rangers Zeo, as well as the 182nd episode overall, titled The Power of Gold. We start this episode at an industrial plant where Tommy and Adam are looking around for something. Tommy talks to Zordon, saying that the distress signal is nearby. Apparently, there's two happening at the exact same time, and the others are investigating the other. Kat, Rocky, and Tanya are walking through the forest looking for the distress signal near them. Kat asks Billy if he knows anything, and Billy says that they're right over the distress signal. Clank and Orbis then congratulate Mondo for dividing and conquering the Rangers, and Mondo plans to send down a monster named Wolfbane. Then Adam and Tommy see the cogs, and they say that they need help, calling the others. Then just as the other three are leaving, they hear something. Then Billy sees something in the power chamber, and he yells, "Guys, above you in the trees!" The cogs then come running and jumping out of literally nowhere, and the three have to fight them. Meanwhile, Tommy and Adam are actually doing their best against the cogs that they're fighting too, but there are clearly just too many of them. Adam calls in for help. Rocky then says that they can't help them because they actually need help too. Mondo then sends down Wolfbane and he shows up in the forest, attacking Pink, Yellow, and Blue. Tanya gets hit onto the ground and just lays there like a dead fish while Rocky tries to help her, taking out his power weapons, as does Kat, but nope, they suck. They then fire at Wolfbane with their Zeo laser pistols, but it does nothing. They then just get blown up. In the power chamber, everything starts going staticky, and Zordon says that something from outer space is approaching. Cut to a giant pyramid coming this way. Mondo then sees this coming this way, and it's interfering the control of their forces. Mondo tells the cogs to leave, and they leave Adam and Tommy. However, Kat, Tanya, and Rocky need their help still, but then they just disappear too. Kat updates them, and they're confused as to why they just got ditched. Billy then says that he can't believe something that he found. It's something incredible. Really incredible. In space, Clank tells Mondo that he lost that giant pyramid, and they can't find it at all now. Then Billy shows the others the visual he got when the interference came up. He also shows them an energy signature from your Zeo crystals. Then Billy shows them the energy signature from the pyramid, and they're an exact match. Zordon then says that if this is Mondo's plan, they're gonna be screwed. Billy also laments how there used to be 6 Rangers, but now there's just 5. Also, they need to find the pyramid before Mondo does. Mondo then decides to send down Wolfbane to occupy the Rangers while they search for the pyramid. On a roof somewhere, Tommy, Billy, and Adam are walking, setting up a device to find the giant pyramid, and they talk about how having another crystal would really help them. Rocky, Kat, and Tanya are setting up another part of this search, and they're ambushed by cogs. It's morphin' time. Blue, Yellow, and Pink fight against Wolfbane and the cogs, getting manhandled right away. Meanwhile, Adam and Tommy are picking up something, and they look, and Billy is gone. Dun dun dun. They then get a call from Rocky and they morph out to help them. Red and Green fly in, helping out Rocky, but then they see that Kat and Tanya are being held back by Wolfbane, and of course, Kat is just screaming over and over again for Tommy. Tommy then just takes on a bunch of cogs on his own, but he's not doing great. Then Wolfbane takes Tommy on one by one, tossing him up on a hill, which he rolls down. Then Wolfbane fires at the 5, who fall back onto the ground. Wolfbane then says that they're powerless against him, but then a black and gold flash goes by, hitting him down. Suddenly, someone else is there. Another Power Ranger in black with gold accents and a shield. We know that he's called the Gold Ranger because the song behind him tells us so. He then comes down beating the crap out of the cogs, and he sounds just like Ryan Steele from VR Troopers. The Machine Empire see this and they realize that the Gold Ranger must have come from the pyramid and they need to stop him right away since they can't even handle 5 Rangers, let alone 6. The Gold Ranger completely destroys the cogs easily, and Wolfbane decides that while Gold is busy, he'll take on the other 5. Quadra fighters are also flying in, firing at them. Then the Gold Ranger shows up in front of the other Rangers, warping around and beating the crap out of Wolfbane. The Gold Ranger is so damn cool. He uses his giant staff weapon to just blow Wolfbane up into nothingness. The 5 others decide to cautiously approach the Gold Ranger, but then Orbis makes Wolfbane grow giant. They tell the Gold Ranger they're going to take care of it from here, calling out their Zeozords and forming the Zeo Megazord right away. They fight Wolfbane, and in true Zeo fashion, they suck at first. But then they call out the Zeo Megazord Saber, and never mind, they still suck against this guy. Is it just me, or are the monsters this season like all super hard to defeat for some reason? Tommy calls out the Red Battlezord, warping aboard as it's launched. Then he fires at Wolfbane over and over again, hitting him. Wolfbane then hits the Zords, forcing the 5 main Rangers to be ejected from their Zords. Then we see that the Gold Ranger is calling out to that giant pyramid called Pyramidus, which is a badass name. Gold Ranger warps into it, putting his own Zeonizer crystal into it, and then he just rolls the pyramid at Wolfbane. Okay, this Zord's a bit lamer than I thought. He then just causes a giant explosion, killing Wolfbane. This causes a miniature avalanche, and the Gold Ranger lands near the Rangers before they look for him, and he's gone. In space, Mondo is very worried about this new Power Ranger, kind of freaked out. In the power chamber, Tommy asks Alpha if they've heard from Billy, and Zordon reiterates how badly they need to find the Gold Ranger. Then Billy walks in. They ask if he's okay and what happened to him, and he says that he had some things that he just had to take care of real fast. They tell him about the Gold Ranger and he's confused. They have to find him before Mondo does. According to Billy, that's the one thing about the Power Rangers. You never know what's going to happen next. The end. Oh my god, this episode's so good. It's a great episode that will be seen as awkward later on when we actually get more information on the Gold Ranger, but like until then, it's great. It accomplishes so much in such a short amount of time, and it really shows how much information you can actually pack into 20 minutes of television without it feeling like it's too much. Also, I have to say that I absolutely love the Gold Ranger suit design. He fits in perfectly with the main 5 Zeo Rangers, but he's different enough to separate himself, exactly like Green with Mighty Morphin. Also, he's just a badass. It's a shame his Zord sucks, or else he'd be pretty high up on my list for favorite overall packages as far as Rangers go, but alas. So how will the Gold Ranger saga continue next time? Find out then, but until then, may the power protect you.